For the third year in a row, and fourth time in 5 years, Grand Canyon is going dancing after winning the WAC Conference. The Antelopes shocked 5-seed St. Mary's last year and have 6'7" guard Tyon Grant-Foster back after he missed time at the end of the regular season. Can they shock Maryland on Friday? Let's talk about that. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college sports content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know which game you are most excited to watch in the first round this year in the comment section below. Grand Canyon basketball dates back all the way to 1949 and was the first team-sponsored sport by the school. It would originally play in the NAIA until 1990, when they would jump up to the Division II level. At the NAIA level, the Antelopes would win 3 national titles in 1975, 1978, and 1988. It would also be the time Leighton McCrary took over as head coach. The Antelopes would play in the Great Northwest Conference, going 74-44, before joining the California Collegiate Athletic Association in 1994. In their first season as a member of the CCAA, Grand Canyon would win the conference tournament and played in the first Division II NCAA tournament, losing in the first round in school history. That would start a run of 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances where they would make the second round twice. After that, the program would begin to struggle after a 3-24 season in 2003-2004. McCrary would finish with a 173-172 record overall and a 119-128 record as a member of the CCAA. In 2004, not only did Grand Canyon enter the season with a brand new head coach in Scott Mossman, they also joined a new conference in the Pacific West Conference. Mossman would lead the Antelopes to a 10-game improvement in his first season, and in his third season led them to a 21-8 record and their 5th appearance in the NCAA tournament, where they made the second round for the 3rd time in school history. It was their first appearance in the tournament in 9 seasons. In Mossman's last season, they finished 12-15. Dan Nichols would take over as head coach in 2008, coaching 1 season with the Antelopes before the arrival of Russ Pennell. Pennell was coming off a season where he had become the interim head coach for Arizona, following Lute Olson's surprising retirement due to medical reasons, leading the Wildcats to a 19-13 record and a Sweet 16 appearance in the NCAA tournament. Although Pennell led the Wildcats on the tournament run, Arizona would choose to hire Sean Miller, so he would leave to take the Grand Canyon job. In 4 seasons with Grand Canyon, he would go 72-44, making 2 Division II NCAA tournaments, or leaving to take the Phoenix Mercury head coaching job with the WNBA. Dan Lewis Majerle would be named the school's next head coach after serving as associate head coach for the Phoenix Suns. Majerle would be named head coach of Grand Canyon in 2013 as they made the transition to the Division I level in the Western Athletic Conference. Under him, the Antelopes found a lot of success, making 3 straight appearances in the CIT, but they weren't eligible for the NCAA tournament at the time. 2015-2016 would be the school's best season in program history, as they would go 27-7 and make the quarterfinals of the CIT. In 2018 and 2019, they would earn bids to the CBI. After 7 straight winning seasons, Grand Canyon would go 13-17 and fired Majerle, and he would file a lawsuit against the school's handling of the situation. In his 8 seasons as head coach, the Antelopes would go 136-89. Bryce Drew would be named head coach in 2020 and would find a lot of success. Before arriving at Grand Canyon, Drew played basketball at Valparaiso and in the NBA, being the 16th pick in the 1998 NBA draft by the Houston Rockets. He would also play for the Chicago Bulls, Charlotte Hornets, New Orleans Hornets, and overseas. In 2005, he joined Valparaiso's coaching staff as an assistant and would be promoted to associate head coach in 2006. In 2011, he would take over as head coach when Homer Drew retired. He would lead the Crusaders to 4 Horizon League regular season conference titles and 2 conference tournament titles, leading to 2 bids in the NCAA tournament. He also led the Crusaders to the NIT twice and the CIT once. He left his alma mater with a 124-49 record and be named the head coach at Vanderbilt in 2016. After going 19-16 in his first season, the Commodores would begin to struggle, going 12-20 in his second season and 9-23 and 0-18 in SEC play in his third season, which was the first time in 65 years that an SEC team went winless in conference play. They also finished on a 20-game losing streak. That led to Drew taking over at Grand Canyon, where he would win the school's first regular season and conference tournament title, then showing the WAC, leading to their first berth in the Division I NCAA tournament. In 2023, they returned to March Madness, winning the WAC Conference Tournament, while last year they finished 30-5, winning both the WAC regular season and conference tournament titles, and winning their first round game in the NCAA tournament when they beat 5-seed St. Mary's 75-66. Before the start of the season, it was announced that GCU would be joining the West Coast Conference in 2025. Just 6 months later, it was announced that in 2026, they will be joining the Mountain West Conference. Athletic Director Jamie Boggs spoke on the move, saying, "We want to position ourselves to be nationally competitive. We are excited about the vision and future of the Mountain West. We are joining a conference that has enjoyed national success, has developed a rich tradition in its 26 years, and has financially positioned us for a competitive success in this changing collegiate landscape. We are eager to compete for the championship with our future peers in the Mountain West." This move to the Mountain West came after GCU's decision was not well received by the WCC, which was announced in May, along with Seattle, as they would join the conference in July 2025, according to ESPN. Heading into the 2024-2025 season, the Antelopes were projected to win the WAC, earning 8 first-place votes. They were led by senior guard Tyon Grant-Foster, who was named the preseason player of the year after averaging 20.1 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game in 34 starts last year. Ray Harrison would also be named to the preseason all-conference team as well. The Antelopes would open up the season 3-0, beating Eastern New Mexico, Cal State Fullerton, and Western Kentucky, or losing to Arizona State and UC Davis. They would proceed to go on a 4-game winning streak, beating Norfolk State, Stanford, Hawaii, and Life Pacific, or losing to Georgia and Atlanta 73-68, and then fell to Louisiana Tech on the road 74-66. They would close out non-conference play, beating Chicago State, St. Louis, San Diego, and Bryant, and started conference play out by beating Southern Utah before falling to Utah Valley, snapping their 5-game win streak. They would proceed to go on a 6-game win streak, beating Abilene Christian, Tarleton State, Southern Utah, Utah Tech, Seattle, and Utah Valley before losing to California Baptist. They would once again go on a 6-game win streak, beating Tarleton State, UT Arlington twice, California Baptist, Seattle, and Utah Tech before falling to Abilene Christian on the road 82-81 in overtime in the regular season finale. They entered the WAC Conference tournament sitting at 23-7, going 13-3 in conference play, which led to them finishing second in the conference behind Utah Valley, who went 15-1 in conference play with their only loss coming to GCU. While they were the 2 seed, Grand Canyon was the betting favorites at plus 145 odds ahead of Utah Valley, who had plus 230 odds. Grant-Foster had not played since February 15th, but Jacoby Coles, Ray Harrison, and Duke Brennan picked up the slack without him. The Lopes would finish second in the conference in scoring, averaging 78.9 points per game, or third in defense, allowing 70 points per game. They would beat UT Arlington 98-75 in the quarterfinals and followed that up with a 75-66 win over California Baptist in the semifinals to set up a matchup with Utah Valley in the championship game. GCU would take the lead with 27 minutes left in the game and never looked back, even though the tournament MVP Jacoby Coles only played 19 minutes due to foul trouble. Harrison would lead the team in scoring with 18 points, while Brennan finished with a double-double for the 9th time since January with 16 points and 10 rebounds. They would win the game 89-82 to win their 3rd straight WAC Conference tournament title and 4th in 5 years. They enter the NCAA tournament as a 13 seed with a 26-7 record, and will take on Maryland in the first round. The Terps enter the game as 10.5-point favorites, and the Antelopes come into the game ranked 93rd in KenPom and are 285th nationally in 3-point percentage, and their Stanford win is their only Quad 2 win. The game tips off at 4:35 p.m. Eastern in Seattle on Friday. Can Grand Canyon win a tournament game for the 2nd year in a row? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.